Man, it's good to be back, boys. I'll tell you one thing. It is good to be back finally. It's been a while. I know we haven't really done an episode kind of since the new year, but we've been kind of getting things worked around, getting things set up.
I'll take a little
But
bit of a vacation here, a little bit.
people have been on vacations and whatnot. But you know what? We're back in the studio. We got Nuker. Say hello.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get this season going.
Hell yeah, we got good buddy Scythe up here, aka Usoppin.
What's up? How's everyone doing? Usopping in the house.
Hell yeah. And then we got Loki.
I
What's going
really
on, Trickster?
just seem like a live to see, dude.
And today I want to seriously talk about just the state that the gaming industry is in right now. I mean, it feels like the gaming industry is at an all-time low of just itself as a whole. Like it's in such a lull to where the games that are currently out, no one really gives a shit about. Like I think right now Call of Duty, it's in its worst state it's been in ever, probably. Honest to God. I think that the first person shooter as a whole is just losing sight of what it initially was and what it was supposed to do. But I also believe that single player adventure style and open world multiplayer co op adventure style games are actually coming back finally. They're making a comeback. What y'all got? What y'all think about those?
My take on that, and one of the reasons why I took a vacation was like I saw this right, and then it's something that I've been like preaching about behind the scenes. I think for the last like month and a half, you guys is I think what's going on right now is one of two things I think that's happening. One, people are just tired of the bullshit. Like people are tired of half-ass games out there. People are tired of microtransactions. People are fucking tired of cheating. It's exactly what the fuck it is. It's like these corporations don't give a shit about the gamer. Like, and this realization hit me pretty hard. Um, dude, I got a couple Christmas presents for with my nephew and my brother. Bought me two amazing games. Right, they bought me Metaphor, which I wasn't even really give a shot. So I was a Final Fantasy Rebirth person, but I gave it a shot because my brother bought the deluxe edition for me. It's like fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, well
Metaphor re Fantasia, right?
yeah, Fantasia. That game blew my fucking mind. Right, it was amazing. Like I didn't like the art style right away, but I adjusted to it. Then I realized how in depth and the storytelling was, and how amazing the game was. And then on Game Pass, I played Youth Chronicles, which was another. It's from the Suikoden series. It's an RPG.
Mhm.
Played that full complete game, nothing broken, no fucking no real DLCs. There are DLCs coming out for it, but the game is a complete like 60-hour game. Right? These are both two 60-hour games, completed games. And then I played Unicorn Overlord, another amazing game. And I'm like, and then then I get off, and I'm like, okay, it's time to play a new game, right? Let's go look around. And then I jump on Fortnite, and I'm like, nope, this is fucking trash. I jump over to Call of Duty. I was like, nope, this is absolute trash. Like I'm tired of I'm tired of hackers, bro. I'm tired of I'm tired of like skins and shit getting thrown in my fucking face, bro. And then I jump over to Halo, and I'm like, Halo. I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking bust some Halo because that's where I come from. And hackers, and I'm waiting for 5 fucking minutes to play a game. Like, this is where we are. Like, yeah, I mean, we'll like everybody else's take on the situation going on, and not only that, I have a lot to talk about on this subject. But yeah, jump in, Scythe, jump in, Loki.
It's the same thing, man. Like I first started off back in, I remember when the Xbox first came out, right? And then I really got me into the game really hard with when Fable came out. That got me into it. And then I started kind of going towards the competitive side of things. So I didn't really get into the Halo like you, Nuker. I was more into the COD, you know what I mean? Like, and I was pretty good at it. And then it's the same thing. Just over the years, it's just gotten worse. People started finding glitches and cheats and utilizing it. And it went from, the good old days where it was nice and fun, where, we were talking about each other's moms and stuff like that, right? Hacking at each other to, um, now you can't even say a cuss word, otherwise you get a comms ban. But yet you got these people that are hacking and ruining the game from everybody else that they get free play, free reign to do what they want. It's because what I'm thinking is probably because they turn around and spend $120 on these stupid skins. And as long as you're spending money, the game's going to let you do what you want, right? So it's the same thing. I kind of went back to the old way. So I actually re-downloaded Fable, Fable 2, Fable 3 and all that. I got back into playing the old school games, Diablo 2 and all that. And I'm having a blast with it. And yeah, I'm having a blast right now. Like I was on a kick for Cyberpunk 2077. Beat that.
It's a good one.
D2, I'm doing that right now. I'm also playing Civ 6, right? So it's a good time.
See, the thing with I want to get on Cyberpunk a little bit, right? Like let's talk about Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk, I think is an amazing game, right? But like when it came out, people don't like realize it, but Cyberpunk fucking sucked.
Dude,
Like,
the game was unplayable when it first came out. You couldn't play the game. It would literally crash every time.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that, and I'm like, Cyberpunk, like, why, like, where's the quality insurance, bro? Like, what's going on? Is like quality insurance like out the fucking window? Like quality check? Like, what's going on with the gaming industry?
Right. Honestly,
So
my bad. Sorry. You
So,
go.
like, with that question, honestly, the whole thing of like what happened is there's a saying, right? You want quality over quantity, right? And that's
Mhm.
what we got with story mode based games. Fable, amazing franchise. They cut it off, brought back, I think it was Fable 3 or Fable 4, and it flopped. The reason why it flopped is because the gaming industry and the consumer mindset has changed. We went from sitting and coming home from school, sitting down on a game like Mafia 1, Mafia 2, and vegging out for 13 hours, saving our game, going to bed, going to school, coming home the next day, and beating the game in 2 days and picking our next campaign game. Right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, we don't have that. You can get a game that has campaign. 99% of the players are going to not play the campaign because they want to go straight to mass multiplayer online. No one plays campaign games anymore at all. But the thing is like Loki said, the microtransactions, people throwing skins in your face, you building up this whitelist repertoire with all these companies because you're dumping money into them, and they're allowing you to hack, they're allowing you to cheat, they're allowing you to do whatever you want to get away with it because you're giving them money. Like, COD's dead. Black Ops 6 was a flop. And the reason why it was a flop is they made half of the players for the game pre-order it, and then a week before they dropped the game, they put Black Ops 6 out for free on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was pissed. Because I had literally pre-ordered Black Ops 6 the second it was able to be pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it. Because I was like, well, I might as well, because it's not like I'm going to get it for fucking free. How pissed I was when I saw it came out on Game Pass. I was like, I have Game Pass. I could have got this bitch for free.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was so mad, dude.
So here's another question I have, guys, right? So if everybody's getting fucking laid off, and then we're talking like, we're talking about like all these like game studios and their fucking dev staffs getting laid off, right? Ubisoft is firing people, man. The Halo studio redid shit, like BioWare, EA, like it just goes on and on and on, right? So all these like devs, hundreds of thousands of devs are getting like laid off, right? Companies are folding left and right. Why the fuck are we going to be paying $100 for a game if the development costs have dropped?
You know something crazy? And this is just my own preference. This is completely my thought. Cheers. I love it. This is my own preference of it. I believe that all these gaming companies that are laying off all these devs and everything, you want to know what these devs are doing? They're taking the games that they have the rights to that are their own projects, and they're actually doing early access to show how bad the studio was managing some of these projects that could have made it really, really far. and they're showing and proving that by releasing it in early access and doing constant updates daily. Like, I mean, for example, let's take this game for example. Let's take Pow World for example. Pow World was developed by former Nintendo game designers, and that Nintendo said the game was going to flop and not do well. I beg to differ. I think Power World might do better than Pokemon, honestly. To be 100% bro.
That's a
No, that's
tall order, bro.
not considering the fact that the last 4 Pokemon games have been all dog shit. You can beat them in 3 hours, dude. Pokemon used to take weeks to beat. You can
I
beat
remember
each
that.
Pokemon game in about 3 fucking hours now. I could literally go out right now, buy all the new Pokemon games that came out in the last 3 years. I could beat them all probably in about 2 days. Complete, fully through 100%. 3 days. Now you take all the old Pokemon games from when like we were all kids growing up, you'll be lucky if you can fucking figure out how the hell to get to the 3rd boss in 3 weeks. Like,
yeah, and I agree with that. Like some studios are doing it. Some studios are doing it right?
Some are.
Like I was like not an Atlas fan. Was not. I'm like I don't like Persona. Not a big fan of Persona, right? Like I just didn't like the aesthetics. And it's not. I never really gave it a shot. I should probably give it a shot, but never was like a big Persona like their aesthetics and like their design. I was not a big fan of that. But like now that I saw Metaphor and I played Metaphor and that's an Atlas game, and then I played Unicorn Chronicles, and I'm like, dude, those 2 games alone cracked my top 10 like already of all time, which is crazy. I never thought I would ever say that. Yeah, they're doing it right. And those are like 60-hour games plus. Like, yeah, Metaphor Game of the Year candidate, and they say that Unicorn Chronicles was like snubbed for like strategy game of the year. So, yeah, like it's the first time I've ever played. It's the first time I've ever played a game for 60 hours, reloaded it back up, right, and did it again the next day. And to tell you the truth, I'm probably gonna do a 3rd run through. Like I've never done a campaign game where I'm doing like 3 run throughs within like a week or 2 of the same fucking game. I've never done that in my life. And I'm like, and this is like a 60-hour RPG, and I'm sitting back and I'm like, that is a complete game. And I will always champion Unicorn Overlord right now. Like it's one of my favorite games of all time. So
there's a game like that I'm playing right now. It's actually an amazing fucking game because I played it on the mobile a while back, and they finally got ported to PC, but the devs are actually finally doing like a real full story with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Snowbreak Containment. It's amazing. I love the game.
I'll check it out. But you're seeing like all these like studios that are like, you know, big studios. You know, talk about fucking Dragon Age, right? With their woke ass shit, right? Dragon Age got fucking stomped out, bro. You got Concord and Sony got fucking stomped out, right? Like not only that, there was reports coming out that Sony, there was 10 games in Sony that got canceled.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and one of them was a Concord spin-off. So like they spent like $500 million on the Concord franchise, and you're like, dude, you
there was
just dropped
supposed to be a new Hulk coming out too. There was supposed to be. Not anymore though.
Let's throw some other monsters out there, right? Like Star Wars Outlaws.
But that game was in a tank, dude.
Like
game
here,
but look at the money they put in that fucker, bro. That's the thing I'm saying.
What do you mean? Dude, the processors are the same fucking processors for Survivor. It's a reskin Survivor with a different storyline.
That's the problem with gaming. Companies are reskinning games thinking we fucking stupid or something.
That's why I didn't buy it.
Maybe the last generation is, but we fucking ain't. We know. We played these games.
I played Survivor. I beat it. I played the one before Survivor. I beat it. And then when I saw 15 seconds of the first teaser trailer for Outlaws, I was like, ain't no way. I was like, might as well give her red hair and call her Cal Kestis because that's what this is. Ain't no way.
So the other thing, did you see what fucking you were also that fucking blew? I saw that. I was watching a fucking video from somebody the other day. I forgot who it was. But he was breaking down Assassin's Creed, right? So it's like a $60 game. So it's a $60 game, and then in the game, okay, this is not a free-to-play game. In the game in Assassin's Creed, you could buy weaponry to make your character better.
Yeah,
on like a story-driven game.
Are you talking about Valhalla?
It might be Valhalla. Yeah,
Yeah. See,
that's
I
crazy.
no, see, okay, I get that, but at the same time though, like there's so much you can do with the stuff you can buy in that game though. Like COD, you buy a skin. Like the most you can do is you can slap a gold or a diamond skin on it and you can like alter the look of your gun. But when it comes to like Valhalla, like I 100%ed that game. When it comes to Valhalla, you buy one of those weapon packs, and then those weapon packs already come boosted the way they are, right? And then you
Mhm.
can take them to a blacksmithy and then you can enchant them even more. So like you can do stuff with the stuff you buy in that game. So it benefits you. The stuff you buy in other games, the microtransactions, don't benefit you. When a game, if I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and they're like for $15, you can get this gold gilded broadsword that has fire ability that's able to have 3 enchantment slots and you can boost it 4 times. And then I'm playing COD, and they're like, you can spend $60 on this pack that gives you 2 weapons, and you can't do absolute dog shit with anything else of it. I'm gonna go for the $15 sword over the fucking $40-$60 pack on COD any day.
The
Because
problem
it
with
benefits
that
my
site, the problem
gameplay.
with that site though, is that's a slippery slope, man.
It's a slippery slope, but I'm gonna take what benefits me over what just makes me look cool.
I just don't want to play a fucking story game where I'm spending $1 for a fucking health potion, bro. Like that's like where that goes.
No, yeah, well yeah, but I don't know what game you're doing that. Like
No, yeah, but that's where it goes. Like that's where it leads. Like for
yeah,
story game campaigns, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to fucking spend like 50 cents for a
but
fucking mana potion, like
But that's the
75 cents for
thing
a
though,
health
is if
potion.
you don't want to do that, you have to find story games that are strictly story games and have no online ties at all. But with the way we're progressing in video games, you might as well buy a 360 because that's what it's looking like if you want to play games like that
Dude,
nowadays.
I think there's
You
a
know what I mean?
backlash going on. I think there's a backlash going on with that type of shit though. Um, it just
Like
I
all of
don't.
us gamers that have been gaming since we've been 4 or 5 years old, like we want our old games back. We want the nostalgia. We want the joy of sitting there and vegging out. A lot of us are tired of this FPS online bullshit. Like fucking
I'm just tired of
Ready or
people
Not.
sucking our
Ready or
fucking money
Not.
out of us, bro.
I've been fucking running Ready or Not with the boys in SOP lately. And it's 4 people load in and you pick a scenario and you load in as like a SWAT team. And you can kit up any way you want. You can bring in breach gear. My kit is I run an M4 with a breach shoddy and a couple grenades and some stim packs and shit like that. And you go in and my favorite mission to do is the Ruby Ridge mission. They renamed it, but if you know what Ruby Ridge is, it's about this sovereign citizen in America that made a stand against Washington, and the FBI came on his property, ended up shooting his son and his wife, and then ended up killing him. But you can replay this whole scenario on this game, and like it's just you and your buddies. And you go through and there's over like 200 different scenarios that you can play as like these police officers, and they're like all like real life events. Like they even have Columbine on this game. They rename it and like reframe it, but like you can go in and like you can like react like you're shooting a Columbine and shit like that. Yeah, but like but I'm turning more towards those games. But like Loki said, like Fable and stuff, I've been playing more like Mafia 1, Mafia 2, Mass Effect. I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect again lately.
Dude,
I
but that's
just
like that's everybody though. Scythe. Like we have our pulse, we have our we have our pulse in the gaming world, right? We have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And if you look at everyone's Discord, man, like COD is fucking gone, bro.
because what
Like
does COD have to give us as a gaming community?
Ooh,
nothing.
I got this. I know
All right,
bullshit.
DemizE.
COD has so much to give us.
No.
It gives us depression, crippling
I'm
anxiety,
talking
high
about
blood
pros.
pressure.
We can talk
I
about
mean, shit, we get a lot from Call of Duty.
we can
It
talk
Raise
ain't
our
about
bank
good.
accounts,
we can
bro.
talk about
You
cons
know?
all day. We can talk about it all day for hours.
That's
I'm
what
talking
I'm
about the
saying.
pros.
Mm.
I'm talking about the pros because unless
Oh,
you're
we talk about the
optic, COD ain't
pros.
doing shit
Early
for you.
heart attack.
There is none. It
Like
used to be zombies, but it's not even zombies anymore.
no, nothing.
It's nothing. Like I literally
Bro, I play a reprocessed game that you showed me more than I play COD. I play Bloodstrike, which was released on the fucking mobile before it was released on anything else. I play a mobile game on my PC, and I have more fun playing that than I do COD.
It's fun. Yep, dude. I have more fun
I have more
playing
fun.
these early access beta games that I've been finding and actually like talking with like developers about and telling them like things that are wrong inside their game, because they actually will go in, watch my stream and see what I mean, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't notice that that's how that code reacted." And they will actually fix it live too. That's the crazy part. I have more fun playing these early access like beta like games because you get to actually talk to the dev team and see how the dev team responds, because depending on how the dev team responds during like early access will give you a kind of like an insight on how the game is going to be maintenance long term. Like, are they going to listen to the community of people playing, or are they just going to do an update once a month for whatever the fuck they fucking feel like and not really fix anything? You know what I mean? Because I mean, for example, Power World, that game is still early access, which everyone seems to forget. It's not a full game yet. It looks like a full game, but it's fucking not. They said that it's only a third complete, which is crazy.
So,
I mean, the game I'm
yeah, I
playing
think
right now, same thing, beta game. Like, it's
so. Do
just,
you think we're heading more of, like towards of an open, like independent studio type of a system?
I think
Like,
what we're heading back, I think what we're going to be heading back towards is kind of where we were at in the early 2010 in gaming. Where, yeah, sure, FPS was there and everything else was there, but what was dominating, dude, was like the Destiny style gameplays for a long time. You know, like that like 4-man squad of just going in and just wrecking havoc across whatever game it was, whether it have been Destiny 2, Space Marines, like, yeah, I mean, just like games like that, you know what I mean? I think that's where we're getting back to. But I think we're also going to get back to like the story based games as well, finally.
oh, dude,
Like games that
thank
actually have
God,
substance to
man.
the fucking not just point and shoot style games. Games that actually have a substance in what you're doing, that are telling stories again. Which was the whole premise of gaming to begin with, which was the storytelling of the game. That's what gaming was. It was storytelling. Let's go back to it. Let's get back to gaming.
Yeah,
Real shit.
I wanna sit down and like actually like. There's a reason why like some of my favorite like characters of all time, right? Like Cloud, probably one of my favorite characters of all time, right? Sephiroth, Cloud, Red 13, bro. Like those guys have like Ramza from Final Fantasy Tactics, man. Like characters like that, um, will like reign in my mind like forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't. There's certain time frames. Maybe it's just me because I'm older, I guess. But for me, I felt like there's not really those type of iconic characters for the last like 10 or 15 years.
I mean, the only real one I can think of is Captain Titus.
Yeah, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's the main character from Space Marines too.
I mean, Warhammer's like 40 years old though. 50 years
Yeah,
old.
but that's just it though. I mean, that's why.
Yeah.
But
I don't give a
it's
shit.
been able to make its foothold for so long that, you know, you say Captain Titus, you know who
Mm.
you're talking about.
Can you name like is there gonna be a character that has the same like cultural relevance like compared to like Mario or you know Link or you know
Honestly,
Cloud
dude,
or
I
whatever
don't.
in the last like 15 years? Like, am I wrong? Let me think.
Besides Master Chief,
Yeah, that's like 25 years old though now. Um,
I mean,
really think about it, right? Like what?
Kratos, but you know,
Even
that's
Kratos is
still
like
like
20 years old too.
15 years, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you're like think about like there. Where is the iconic characters? Like they're bringing back like Perfect Dark, like but that's like 20 years old. Like who? Now that I'm really like really kind. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm overlooking a few things, but like Jump Insight. Like, has there been an iconic character in the last like 15 years that's just gonna stand the test of time? You know, there's a reason why Mass Effect like Force coming out. There's a reason why Final Fantasy VII Remake is like completely built. Like what, you know, the Demon Souls franchise, yeah, that's cool, whatever. But like they don't have like an iconic character. Like even what's his face, even like the Minecraft guy, Steve, dude, he's an iconic character, right? But he's already 20 fucking years old too. Like who the fuck in the last 20 years? Who the fuck do we have? Like 15 years. Like they're all old as fuck. Like I'm drawing a blank. Am I drawing? Am I wrong or no?
I mean, not really, because I don't know. I don't know. Besides, can you think of any characters in the last 5 years that are memorable?
Because all the ones from the fucking past decade started a decade before. So like, I don't know. It's hard to come up with new iconic characters which are gonna grab the entire world. Like, I guarantee there's video games in the UK. Like, I know there's video games in the UK that we don't have here that
Oh
are
yeah,
gonna be
100%.
iconic for them. You know what I mean? And we have video games here that are iconic for Americans. You know what I mean? So it's really hard. Like, that's a really hard like topic to sit here and be like, are there any iconic characters? Because like,
Okay, so then let's say worldwide, because you say Mario, doesn't matter what country you're in, everyone knows
Yeah.
who Mario is.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
Link, Mario,
You say like
like
the Legend of
Pikachu.
Zelda, everyone knows who Legend of Zelda is. Sonic, I mean,
Yeah, Sonic
everyone
is
knows
huge.
who Sonic is. Like, I mean, just like, like
Cloud
globally
Cloud got
recognized
cool.
characters.
There's no new ones.
Yeah, there's no new ones, man. Like that's how is that how shitty the storytelling is? Is like there's just no new ones. Like
Yeah, I mean, I guess the last one would have been
Kratos, maybe.
Like, Kratos is the most like. All right, I'm gonna be the odd one out and say Kratos, because they came out with God of War and then they just dropped Ragnarok like last year. So like, if we want to be like who's the most iconic still, it would have to be Kratos. It would have to be, because The Witcher just stopped, right? The Witcher just stopped. Snake from Metal Gear Solid is that just stopped. So like, pretty much like Kratos is the like last iconic fucking figure, really.
Yeah, like
And I just heard that he's getting another game too. So
I saw that.
yeah, he's
like,
gonna be in Egypt this time. So
which that's gonna be interesting to
that's
see.
gonna be that, dude. I hope they do something with the 9 gates, bro. Like having to go against Anubis, trying to get through the 9 gates. That'd be insane. That'd be insane. They could do so much. They could do so much.
Yo, Loki, am I overlooking somebody? Am I looking? Like I'm trying to like really like contemplate. I'm like, is there somebody we're overlooking that we just don't see?
What do you mean? Like
Like icon in the last like 15 years, iconic people like gaming characters. Like, who am I overlooking? Is there anybody I'm overlooking? Is the question I'm asking.
main characters in games?
Games that are characters that are iconic, like globally.
I got one.
I don't think so. Not that I can think of. You go.
I think I got one, but it's kind of like in a gray area. That freaking I'm not really like I'm not gonna call myself a fan of the game or the show, but the main dude from The Last of Us, he's got a lot of heat. He's got a lot of heat. He's got a lot of following. It's kind of
the dude
big.
who got killed by the female.
I think so.
Oh, see, but he's dead. He's dead though. Like he's like,
but like he's dead. But like he's dead. But we're looking
games,
for
man.
like iconic. Like,
I guess it's
you
true.
know, like that had a lot of like heat behind it. Like the Last of Us series, the show and the game, that had a lot of heat for a few years.
Right.
That's old,
but that's old. And Cloud's old though, because I mean, Final Fantasy is just remade. That's all it is. It's not like a new game by any means.
Not a new game, but I mean, they still keep coming out with new ones, right? I mean,
that's the situation. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about like how in the last like 15 years there hasn't been like really like any iconic like characters that really have popped out.
Not really.
No, like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like games are losing what used to really make gaming special. Because I mean, think about it. When you saw a
Even
new
bad
Sonic
guys,
game
right?
come out, dude, you bought the Sonic game because Sonic was that lovable character. Everyone loved Sonic. Like real shit. I mean, you played Sonic Heroes, Sonic Sega Racing,
I was a
oh 06. Like
yeah. I was a Tails fan.
or even like no, dude, Shadow went crazy.
I like Tails. I was a big Tails fan. Always.
Were you?
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite characters in Sonic that doesn't get enough love. I really did. Okay, one of the newer characters.
Loki.
I got to rephrase this. Let me rephrase this. One of the newer characters, but I really thought Blaze did a really good job. Like
Mm.
the way that Blaze like played into the story lore was amazing. So, but
Like even bad guys suck, bro. Like iconic
oh,
bad
dude.
guys, right? Like who do we got for icon? You got Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, of course, right? You got Sephiroth, man. You got fucking Bowser.
I mean,
Like
honestly, the Lannister twin, or not the Lannister twins, but whatever the twins were in Borderlands, like they were decent, but like Handsome Jack went crazy as a fucking villain in the
yeah, I don't even know
original
who that is,
Borderlands.
bro.
Bro, Handsome Jack went crazy. I don't care what anyone says.
All the different
Like,
variations of Joker from the Arkham series.
mhm.
Those, like,
Yeah, but Joker goes back like almost 100 years, man.
yeah,
You
but
got
he's like almost one of the
Eggman,
most iconic villains to ever
you-
like be a villain. Like what?
Mm.
Metal
No, no,
Sonic,
no.
even
I'm talking about like
Shadow
game.
for
I'm
like
talking
a
about like
little bit.
gaming, though. Like
Yeah,
15 years
but
gaming, like Kane, maybe. No, if you don't know Command and Conquer, you don't know who Kane is. Yeah, it's been pretty brutal
It has been.
lately.
Like I don't understand it either. Like it's like gaming companies, they're just not trying anymore. Like and you know the problem with that too though. It all boils down to it's I think the reason why that is, the reason why story games are disappearing is because people don't have the attention span anymore for a story game.
Mm.
I think it all comes back down to the attention span issue inside the world. Because think, we used to be able to sit down and veg out and play a storyline because we were drawn in, but that's because we also had a sense of curiosity. I feel like a lot of kids nowadays and gamers, they just are focused on how can I make content on this, not what am I going to get out of the game just if I just feel like playing it for fun.
Well, there was lesson. There was like life lessons in the games back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like forget about that. You know, like you deal with like situations with like death, and you deal with like situations like relationship issues. You deal with like religion and stuff like that in
Mm-hmm.
games where you haven't been exposed to that prior, right? Like you know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why gaming is like struggling right now. Is because back in the day we were exposed to things that were like brand new to us, right? Like now, the exposure, like you're exposed that so much stuff at such a young age is like how are you gonna grab the attention of that consumer if they've been exposed to certain things already? If that makes any sense, guys.
No, it does. No, and it definitely does because like you're absolutely right. Like when we were gaming, oh,
Oh, we lost Loki.
oh there he is. Welcome back, Loki. No worries. But see, like that's just it. I think whenever games came out back in the day, when I think all of us could actually appreciate them and really enjoy them. I'm not even going to say really enjoy them because I think I go back and play some of the games that I used to play as a kid now, and I understand them more now that I'm an adult because I'm grasping the concept of what the game was actually trying to teach you.
Yeah.
And I think that's like that was the craziest thing to me.
So hold on, when did this come out? So I would have been like 13 or 14 at this time. So one game that I really like, right?
Mhm.
And I was like 13 to 14 when it came out. But exposed me to God, man, exposed me to so much shit, bro. It exposed me to like geopolitics, exposed me to like religion and like philosophy, dude. Exposed me to like relationships and like some sexual stuff in it there at like a young age, right? Um, was Xenogears. Um, and I will always remember Xenogears because of the shit that I've saw in that game, and like that it made me think. It made me think critically, right? If that makes sense.
Oh, you
It's like
know, it
why
definitely
why
does.
yeah, so why is this person doing this? Why doing this? And this is kind of why I think I'm gonna get back on metaphor, right?
Mhm.
Metaphor does that. So what metaphor does is exposes the idea, and the big theme of metaphor is can fantasy impact like reality? That's the big theme, right? Can your
Oh,
imagination
100%
actually,
can.
yeah, yeah. So like that's the big question. The whole question of the game is that like can reality or can like imagination like impact like reality, and like the concept of reality and imagination, and like that's a pretty heavy subject, right? Pretty heavy fucking subject. And like when I played that, like it made me start questioning certain things. So it made me like think critically. It made me think, I was like, oh man, that's a pretty wild idea, right? Idea and concept. So like I think that's kind of like why that game holds like a high regard, is because it's challenging my thought process of like reality. It's challenging my critical thinking skills. It's tapping into something that maybe I have thought of it before, but like I haven't thought of it from this angle. And I think that from that perspective, I think gaming has lost that. Um you can't like how are you gonna tap into an audience that like it's been just like fucking ream through? It was like, okay, think about this. For the last 20 years, we've been playing Call of Duty reskin, Call of Duty reskin, Call of Duty reskin. Like, fuck it, this sucks, bro. Every year,
Dude,
everybody
it's
gets
been a Call of Duty reskin for like 5
yeah,
years.
yeah. For fucking like 20 years, it's been the same fucking thing over and over and over again. It's nothing new. It's nothing innovative. It's nothing from a critical and intellectual standpoint. And
It's just
like,
lazy. That's what it
yeah, it's
is.
just lazy, bro. It's like I've been watching the same fucking episode of The Simpsons for the fucking last 20 years. Like, it's not nothing new. And when they do say it's fucking new, it's something that's been done 15, 20 fucking years ago. And we can take that from the Madden franchise, right? The Madden franchise is every year new feature, new feature, new feature. It's like, fuck no, bro. Like
No,
20
it's
years
not. There's
ago,
nothing new.
yeah, 20 years ago, I was creating my characters, man, running the fucking business on Madden. I was building a team. I was building a stadium. I was like, that doesn't even fucking exist in Madden. Doesn't exist. And like that was something that was there 20 fucking years ago. And all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh, new feature, man. You can build a new fucking stadium this year in your fucking franchise mode. And I'm like, no, we could do that 20 years ago. Like
That's what I'm
they're
saying,
just
man. Like, companies think we're stupid, but it's like, brother, who are you fooling? You ain't fooling me.
yeah,
Tell
and I
you
think
that
it's
right now.
yeah, and I think like I'm gonna throw a fucking wild pass here out there, right? And it's a game that I thought it was a good game. Like a lot of people call it great, but the franchise was I think it was pretty cool, pretty good game. But I think it challenged a lot of people the
Mhm.
way they think about things. Is like BioShock. Like where the fuck is BioShock, man? Like BioShock had a lot of cool shit in there, man. A lot of like different ideas and like how like different like civilizations and like cities and shit could get built. The storyline was a crazy horror game or whatever it was, scientific horror game. But yeah, BioShock,
Right.
I think that deserves a lot of credit, man. Like for what it did.
Dude, Bioshock did a lot.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Big
people
Daddy,
forget,
bro.
but honestly, another game that did a lot as far as changing an entire style of gaming.
Hmm.
But even when Fallout first came out,
Yeah,
dude, that changed an entire like subgenre of gaming. That added a whole new subgenre to the gaming scene.
but they've been just like reskinning and repurposing it the last 20 years. So there's no innovation. So everybody
Exactly.
says
Yeah.
there's innovation in graphics and stuff like that, but there's actually like no innovation going on really.
I mean,
I can't
maybe
say
not.
that completely, but I'm like storytelling
Ow,
wise.
Gotham, get your claws out of my King foot, please. Holy shit. Sorry, boys. My cat just like dug her claws all the way into the top of my foot.
Mm.
Oh yeah, well, let me tell you, it's like waking up to a cold shower in the morning. It felt great.
Hold on, I'm gonna retract what I just said. All right, for a little bit. You know who's innovating? There's one company that is innovating. Now that I think about it, and it's not reskin, but it's definitely, how do I say this here, dude? Fucking you know who's got the formula down is Nintendo, bro.
Oh, dude, Nintendo's had the formula down for almost 75 years. Come on now.
Yeah, yeah. Like Nintendo always, like they're always innovating. Now that I think about it, right? Like they're the ones that are actually doing it right. We're talking about like Xbox and PlayStation and shit, right? But like Nintendo's got it down, man. I just wish they had better online like communications like that. That's the one thing they really lack in. But I understand they're a family company. It makes sense, I guess. But then again, maybe less is more, right? Yeah, because like their business model is like, hey man, I want to get the family together and play games like in person. So Nintendo's actually genius from that standpoint because they're building, instead of like everything online, right? They're building memories. So like
Well, see,
their biggest Nintendo's biggest model or business like strategy is like, hey man, let's get together and like we're gonna have a family outing. You know, this happens, and I know it does.
well, that's always been Nintendo, though. That's been Nintendo's draw for fucking years. I mean, that's how they make their money. Make sit-down play style games for groups.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it: Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers,
Mario
Mario
Party,
Party.
yeah. Mario
I,
World is 4 players now, right? Like there's a lot of Worlds are 4 players now.
I think you can have up to like 16 players now in Mario Party
Yeah, and
because
I'm
there's
like,
online now.
there's something to be said about like, and
Well, I
some of
mean,
my
hell,
favorite.
even like okay, so like there's even this game that was on Nintendo for a long time. I played it when I was a kid. Me and my cousin played it, but it was literally called Dokapon Kingdom Connect. And me and my buddies have been playing it because they brought it to PC finally. But it's literally Mario Party, but just with a more combat style base. So like it's still like a dice roller, so it's still like a dice spinner game. And you still have to move across like a board, but you also have to go around conquering these different villages inside the kingdom to liberate them from the monsters for the king. And you have like class sets and ranks, and you gotta like go and buy weapons and stuff from like the shops, and like each square could potentially have something that could happen on it as well. So like, and that was back in like 2011 when it came out. And it's still one of my favorite games because it's chaotic because it changes. There is no turn determinator as far as like what happens. It
Yeah,
just happens. It's just pure chaos.
like one of my favorite like online games, or one of my multiplayer games right now, and we'll play it probably like, I don't know, twice a month. We'll all get together or whatever. Dude, Brotato, bro. Like Brotato 4 player offline, like couch sitting is fun as shit. Like we all get together, yeah, we all get together, man, dude. We have fucking some drinks and some smoke, and we fucking get some food together, man. Hang out with the family, see the nephews and shit, dude. And we just all game together, man. And like that's kind of like a big treat for all of us. It's like there's something to be said about that family interaction, that social interaction, versus I'm gonna hang out with my buddies online, and then when I turn off the system, everything is kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? There's something to be said about that.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said about that. I'm not gonna lie. There's definitely something to be said about that. But like honestly too, I just think Nintendo, they know how to, Nintendo appeals to that wholesome style of gaming, and I think that's always been their draw.
It makes me think of a game that needs to combine the two.
Or honestly, too, you want to know a game that I always remember being a grand time when I was a kid playing?
Mhm.
But I remember playing like Rock Band and like Guitar Hero with like my brothers.
Right? That was fun.
That was fun. You get like four of you and you'd just be jamming out, knowing that one of you sucks shit at singing, but you're still gonna fucking do it anyway.
Right? Get off the fucking drums, Timothy. Get off the drums.
Fuck off the drums. These are my sticks now, bitch. Get on bass.
Get out of yeah. See, but that's like a memory that's like 20 years old now, bro.
No, real shit.
Like
Real shit. That's what I'm saying, though.
that's a memory that's forged between like 4 or 5 people. Like no one gives a fuck about like online shit, bro.
Like, that was a
Like
memory forged in a fucking bedroom that definitely smelled like four of us have been sitting in there for 3 days. Playing Rock Band for 3 days. Like, that's what that room smelled like. Ass and sweat.
yeah. A little
Real
bit of
shit.
Doritos, bro, man. Mountain Dew breath. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
Doritos, Mountain Dew, ramen, and pizza.
Dude,
Pizza boxes.
one of the craziest stories I ever had from a gaming standpoint, man. Me and my cousin played Civilization 2, right? Yeah, the gold edition, right? Or was it 3? Might have been 3. It's 3, I think. The gold edition one. Dude, we put in a 48-hour session. Straight up, bro. And we were like the Romans and the Americans, man. And we ordered Domino's like 4 or 5 times. Like that time frame, bro. It was pretty bad. And dude, we had the same fucking driver give us like all our orders. And we were like, "Hey, bro, we're still gaming, man. We were cracked out of our fucking heads, bro." He probably smelled us when he opened the door, bro. He was like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, man, it was one of the best gaming sessions I ever had, man, with my cousin. Yeah,
That's like
um,
what I'm saying. Like, there's really no games like that are really around anymore where you can do that again. Where like you
yeah,
want to. I mean, I remember when like Reach came out, me and my brother, we vegged out for like 3 weeks. Like, we did not leave the house for 3 weeks. We lived off of pizza, ramen, and fucking Mountain Dew.
dude, this is a great. We need to take this topic to the next episode, bro. I think this is where we need to go. I think like our memories and gamings is like a great like either jump off or like we fucking roll. But like, I think the gaming industry has a lot to learn right now. I think
I think the
they
gaming
gotta change
industry
it.
is in such a prime spot that if they were to switch it up and actually get back to the roots of what gaming was, I think it would thrive in such a sense that would be insane.
Well, in one of our prior AI episodes, I think I do mention something like that where I think that like storytelling is going to come back, but it's going to be through like AI generation. Like I think I do talk about that. It's going to be a whole different ball game. I think the idea that like every person can experience a new adventure but in the same world
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a big thing. You know, and I know that sounds like, well, we already see that. It's like, no, you don't. I mean, this is on like a whole different level. Like we're talking like almost straight up simulation stuff is going to be happening. Like a fantasy world where like everything you do could like impact everything around you. Be it that you injure your character and now all of a sudden you have like a limp in your fucking thing. Like that type of shit's going to happen. And it's going to be the same world, but it's going to be just like every story is going to be different. And from a content standpoint, that would be absolutely amazing. Like everyone is going to have their own journey in the same world. That's fucking bonkers, bro.
Right.
What do you think, Scythe? Or Loki? Chime in.
Either one can chime in. 'Cause, I mean, this is good. This is good topic right now, boys. This topic is definitely going to roll over into next week's episode too. Because
No,
there's so
so
much to be talked about on this topic.
yeah, so what I was saying, Loki, is like this is where I see the world going, or the gaming world going, is that there's gonna be like one world, right? But people are gonna have different adventures in that one world, completely different. We're not even talking like even similar in the utmost, and I think you can see a little bit of it in Dragon's Dogma. You can see a little bit of this like idea and concept in Dragon's Dogma a little bit, but I think it's gonna be a lot of games like that where you're like, dude, yeah, and the whole game is gonna be.
No, I mean you can't keep reskinning bullshit.
Mm.
You think I care? Oh,
Well, the way that you could fix dude, I already know. I already have an idea on how I could fix battle first-person shooters. I have
well, I'm
plenty of ways to fix
excited
it.
for what game. If I can interject real quick, Nuker. I'm
Go ahead.
excited for where gaming's going because so like when I was about 13, I was part of this study that actually was testing neuro VR linking with ADHD because they were seeing how much power that your brain actually pumps out. Because realistically, in order to fully generate a full neuro VR system, the neuro VR link will have to be able to link up with your current brainwave structure's pulse rate. It's going to have to. But the problem is scientists believe that normal people, like people that weren't born with like some form of just like even some form of like mental, I'm not even gonna call it a disease, just mental, we'll just call it that for purposes, I guess. For example, people with like ADHD, ADD, and like shit like that, scientists have actually studied their brains and realized that their brain actually not just thinks and processes information faster, but it actually processes energy faster inside the body as well, which is actually pretty cool. It's actually really cool.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either, but it's really fucking cool though. And they're saying,
Does that mean like someone with like a okay? This is like a totally there by now. We'll talk about it after the show. I don't want to switch topics. That's an interesting concept.
that's what I'm saying. That's definitely gonna roll over into next week's show.
Mm. This has been a great. This has been a great episode, though. Like, I think this is a good jumping off point, man. I think this is. I think we touched on a lot of topics, and I think a lot of this stuff. I know last season we talked about AI a little bit, but I think topping into the gaming industry as a whole, something that we need to keep on touching on because we're gonna see a lot of things. Oh, by the way, the CEO of Sony PlayStation just got demoted, so that's a little breaking. It's a couple days ago, but like I just found that out, so that's crazy still. But yeah, that's where we're headed, man. Like hundreds of people laid off, CEOs getting fired, lead writers getting fired. Fuck it, man. Let's see this thing. Let's see this fucking shit burn, bro. Oh my god.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be crazy, man. That's it. That's all I know. Is gaming this year though? And next week, do not be surprised if the topic is Monster Hunter Wilds as a subtopic next week, because that means it'll be out a week after that. Just saying.
Civilization 7. Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds boys. But you know, we're gonna get last comments from everybody. Loki, got any lasting comments to leave with us for this episode? I like it. I like it. Scythe, any lasting words?
I hope that the gaming community can come together and give us what we've been asking for years, and not keep giving us these shit ass games with microtransactions. Because ain't nobody got time for that no more. Like, it was cool when it came out, skins were cool, but now I want to be able to just play games with friends and enjoy it. Know what I mean?
I do. Nuker, any lasting words?
We'll get through this. We'll get through this fucking shit show. Things will be better on the other end, man. But dude, just enjoy yourselves, man. I know it's a stressful time in the world right now. Just enjoy it, guys. Just stick with friends and family, man. And watch us next week. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's been a wrap. I'll tell you right now. It's been an interesting show today.
It was a good show, bro.
For real.
Hmm.
It was brought to you by Poggers Lifestyle as well. I remember that.
Let's go, DemizE.
Brought to you both by Poggers Lifestyle and in partner with Cinch Gaming.
All right. Good show, gentlemen.
Oh, man. I forgot to do my fucking banner shit in the show.
Let's go, bro.
Oh, shit. I'll catch you a lot in the cabana.
Yeah, we'll see you in the Discord.